Welcome everyone. My name is Emil. I'm going to teach you all I know in terms of starting off learning fingerstyle guitar. And it's going to be a lot of different examples. First of all, we're going to do some exercises, and then we're going to continue doing some songs. And the main reason, the main purpose of this video is to get your thumb independent from your fingers, because that's really the most important thing when you're starting off learning this style. That's what we need to work on, and it takes a while. It takes patience, it takes practice, and it takes time. So be sure to give it time and take it, bar by bar, really slowly, and we're gonna figure this out, and it's gonna be fun. It's something I like to be able to entertain an audience by myself, just using the guitar and no other musician, and that's a cool idea. And fingerstyle guitar is a great way to be able to do that, to play a song by yourself and actually comping yourself at the same time when you're playing a melody. So we're gonna start off by learning some exercises, but before that I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about the angle of the hand and how we actually mute the strings with our right hand. So first of all, I use the thumb pick. Not everyone do. You can use your thumbnail. That works too, and also you can use the flesh of your thumb right here. But for me, it has been a good thing using the thumb pick, because I don't have that classical technique where you have your hand more like this. I have my technique is based on Chet Atkins, the Chet Atkins style, which is more where you put the palm of your hand here. You put that on this part of the guitar. So this is the bridge. I just put this part right here to be able to dampen the strings. Or if I want to lift it up, sometimes I use the pinky to actually get a distance between the hand and the strings, to get them to ring out like that. So, but the main focus here is, where do you put your hand? Well, first of all, the thumb needs to be to your left. In terms of, if you think about the fingers, some people put the fingers like this and the thumb actually behind the fingers. And the main reason that people do that is so that you can actually see the strings, below the thumb, so you see what you're doing. But I think it is actually a better sound if you have the thumb in front of the fingers. So the thumb should be at least line up with the fingers like that. But I think a little bit more to the left than the fingers. So we have this angle. So the thumb is here. The palm of your hand is still on the bridge of the guitar, and I actually place the index finger, middle finger, and ring finger on the 3 high strings like that, just to, when we're starting out, this is the position we're using. So let's get on to the first example, the first exercise for you to learn. So here we go. We have an A minor chord. Most of you probably know this chord already. And we're going to play the bass. And when you have the root on the A string, like this, if you have a A minor chord, we're playing the root on the A string, and then we're playing the D string, and then we're playing the E string, and then the D string again. That's 1 bar of music. So that's the first exercise. We're just going to play that through a couple of times. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the thumb actually, sometimes when you're hitting that D string, sometimes you accidentally strike 2 strings, and that's okay. It actually adds a little bit to the sound on 2 and 4. But it's not necessary. But you can have that in mind, so it doesn't matter if you hit 2 strings there. Anyway, so you have the A minor chord. We're playing that exercise just to get our thumb used to going, moving like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. The next example, we're going to actually play a chord. So we play the high 3 strings, the G string and the B string and the E string at the same time as the first note, beat of the bar, and let that chord ring out through the bar. So it sounds like this. If I'll demonstrate for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it slow together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And already you actually have two parts doing two parts at the same time. You're playing a chord that rings out, and you're playing a bass at the same time. So this might be a little bit tricky. If you have never done this before, it might be a little bit tricky. And now we're going to continue to the next example. This one is actually the same thing, but I'm actually playing the chord on beat 2 of the bar, which means we have this sound. And here's the example. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the third example, we're actually going to play the chord on beat 3 of the bar. So if you count like 1, 2, 3, that's where you put the chord, but the bass is totally the same, just as we did before. It goes like this, and then the chord on beat 3 of the bar, let it ring. So like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a little bit more tricky. Now we have to think a little bit, but do it really slow and you'll figure it out. So last one on this subject here, on beat 4. So we play the chord on beat 4, let it ring. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So that's the first examples. Now we're going to continue, and so far we're playing the chord at the same time as the thumb, right? We're playing the chord at the same time as actually on the beat. But when it gets really tricky, now it gets really tricky because now you have a different rhythm with your fingers. So your fingers is going to play a syncopated rhythm, and syncopated means that we're going to play a chord on an offbeat, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So instead of, we're actually, the chord, we're going to play the chord on beat 1 like this, but we're actually going to play the chord one more time, and that little chord is going to be in between the beat. So in other words, it will sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. If you haven't done this before, this is where it gets really, really tricky, because your hand has never done this before. Everything we do in life, when we use our hands, we're actually grabbing something. We use the thumb at the same time as the fingers, you know. But now we have a totally different rhythm for the thumb and the fingers, which is tricky. But we're going to play this example really slowly for you. So I'm counting you in: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so this is the first. Really tricky part. Now we're going to go to the next one, and you can actually do this yourself and just think, where can I put that second chord? Where can I put it in the bar? You can put it anywhere. And I suggest you try it on different offbeats in the bar. So in other words, now I did it on 2 and. So that would be. But now we're going to put it on 3 and it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll do it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay? And just continue that way. You can play it on 4 and. That will be tricky. It sounds like this. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So anywhere in the middle of the bar, you know. Anywhere in the, any offbeat in the bar.